It's the second day at Watches and Wonders, but we are not going to the fair because we are traveling almost 2 hours north of Geneva to visit something as cool as the Tudor factory. So in this video you will see how it looks inside the Tudor factory as well as the Movement factory that is just laying beside. So stay tuned to learn everything about how it looks inside and out this beautiful factory that you will see just now, because this is how it looks from the outside, and you can definitely see it speaks the Tudor brand from inside and out, because everything from the water cup to the napkins to the Tudor wall clocks is really true to the brand. First up for us is one floor up, where we got some croissants and coffee because we got up quite early. We were picked up at 7 o'clock in order to get here in time. The place we're standing at, that looks like a highly branded Tudor boutique, but much larger. There's a huge table in the middle, and I will show you a lot about that later because that is actually the highlight in this room. But first, let's listen to the manager of this place.
Beautiful watch at the end. So we will show you all the process from the beginning of the first operation at the final assembly line operation. If you have one, if you have a serial number, I'll just tell you which one or who one do you watch. If you want to test it, you will do that today. Try it.
So I told you that this table in the middle is the highlight of this whole room. And you can see here on the right that there are watches that has just popped up. And now it's time for me to play with the remote. The first click, yeah. Then we got some really old pieces. Also some super cool ladies watches. My personal favorite is a Lady Diver over there. But here we also have some really cool watches. I don't know all the reference numbers, but you can see that they have taken a lot of inspiration from these historical models in their current collections. And here are all the lady watches. I think this one in the middle here is a true grail watch for all watch collectors. That was it from the first room of this factory visit. Now we're gonna move into the actual production line. So we're packing up, we're getting the instructions, what we can record and what we cannot. We could actually record most of the things, so you get to see all of this in this video. So we're taking the stairways down to see the heart of this factory, as the production manager told us. And on the way, we saw this cool painting on the wall, which we got to learn there's a lot of inside fun jokes about it, and you can hear about it now.
You see that? Yes. Yeah, the window of the chalet is the shield of the Tudor, and you can catch a lot of jokes like this. The flag of the Geneva, the beautiful eagles of Geneva, here a ceramic and
And here we have to pass through a long corridor where it told us they have a lot of fun stories, they do races, they have a lot of fun, they also enjoy the facilities. But this corridor leads us into the heart of the factory, which is actually the heating, cooling and air system.
Because if you want to grab and to keep the high level of quality, you need to be attention, not enough what is this area just all around the desk of watchmaker, but all the space, all the area. That's why we are here, and as you can see all around you, it's not just for you for the visit. The side of the bottle is very huge, but the first line is used for the volume of the safe. That is a nitrogen bottle, and if the first line doesn't work, you have the redundance.
So that shows us how they keep this facility in check. But now it's time to get into the factory, and to do that we have to dress up into these coats. And now we're stepping into where it actually is happening. And here it's also Tudor branded. As I said before, everything is branded and built very nicely around the brand. And here we're listening to how it's done on the assembly floor.
Watches and machinery, our HVAC system, located in the basement, plays a crucial role. The system creates a continuous flow of air from the ceiling to the floor, so that dust is kept from floating around the workshop. This is also a semi-controlled environment zone where the air is fully renewed 3.5 times per hour, only gain per standard procedure through airlocks. And as it was mentioned previously in this building.
And this is when it becomes fascinating, because here we got to see really close up how it looks when they are assembling their watches. And there were tons of people sitting here. I think it's 150 people working in this factory, and here you can see one of them at work. And here they're assembling a Tudor Black Bay 41mm with a red bezel. And when you look on the screen, you will see which watch they are assembling. And it's cool because everyone is supposed to be able to assemble every single watch. So it's not like you do one watch and you focus on that one. Everyone is supposed to be able to do all of them. And you can see there's a lot of people sitting here working. And this is such a cool place. And it's awesome to see how they look before they get delivered to the authorized dealer. And we will see the packaging process a little bit later in this video.
To link twice number the serial number of the movement and the serial number of the key.
On our way to the next room, we got to have a small little water stop because it's quite a lot up and down, and we got some more stories. And what I wanted to show you from this stop is where the factory actually is based. It's called the Locle, and it's a village in the Swiss countryside, so it's super beautiful. If you have the possibility to visit, make sure to do that for sure. But now it's time to move on to the next stop of this tour after this little water break. And we're moving into the place where the watches are controlled, checked before actually getting packed and shipped out from this place.
Last row of the manufacturer, where we are controlling all our watches and movements. So here you can see.
What's fascinating in this room, and also what kind of stole the show in here, is this little robot running around. This, together with all these machinery and this equipment that is checking things and doing it automatically without any people involved. It's such a cool process, and what they told me is that they have taken a lot of inspiration from the production lines in the medical industry. And when turning around, there was another robot rolling around on some kind of mission that I don't know. But looking into each different window, you will see a lot of different watches. And what's cool in this plate here was that there's actually a lot of different watches. It's not the same. And I will show you one really unique piece that I saw that I've never seen in real life before in just a couple of seconds. Here we have another machine, and we got some information about what this one is doing. To be honest, I don't remember exactly what this one did. Because when we were standing here listening to what this machine did, yeah, there was a robot just behind us waiting to get by, so we were a little bit distracting him in his work.
Oh, there's a robot. He's working.
And what these robots that are completely autonomous is doing is actually driving around these watches that are going between different type of tests. So this robot is here carrying yet 6 other watches and putting it into this place. And it just drove up to the machine, and it was twisting the full body, and then it was just pushing the watches in. And in this tray, there's actually a watch I've never seen before. So in this tray of 6 watches, there is all the way in there, there's a Tudor Ranger who has a specific logo that I could not identify. So if you know what it is, let me know in the comment, so you can help me figure out what it is that I've seen. Because you can see there just above the 6th index that there is a small little logo on this watch. So we're moving into the last check, where they are visually checking and fitting the bracelet before these watches are shipped out to their AD. And we're listening to the guy who runs this place.
Each member of the team, each operator is trained with the main goal of being able to manually fit all kinds of bracelets, whether it be leather, strap, rubber or metallic, in all Tudor watch references. He's the last person to touch this watch before the customer. So what we also ask her is to do a last visual, a last aesthetical check of the watch to make sure that it will be delivered upon the quality standards demanded by Tudor. To finalize, she will remove all the plastic protections put by our suppliers around the bracelet that are made to avoid any kind of scratches during assembly. And the very last step, she will informatically validate the watch in the little cases on the right. So when it will be shipped to Geneva, they will know exactly, or their computers will know exactly which watch is in which case with the serial number. There is behind.
And here they display different case packs because Tudor is now also doing a lot of collaborations and celebrations of different things. So this is just to show what they could produce for different kind of brands and collaboration partners.
Eu falo bem.
Mas o seu é muito mais claro que
O sotaque dele é assim um bocado.
É muito legal. Obrigada.
And now when we see the watch being packed up in their boxes, it's time for me to take off this coat because we are continuing this tour but on the other side of this facility, because we're leaving the side where Tudor is branded and we're walking over to the other side of this building. It's two different buildings, but they're kind of connected because where we're going now is where the movements are created, and that is called Kenessi. My favorite detail in this place? Yeah, it's actually this building from Lego, and this shows how the two factories sit together. You can see the Kenessi side, but also the Tudor side. And with that said, we said a big thanks to the production manager who showed us around, and we're moving over to Kenessi's CFO.
And, then you'll have a visit with my colleague Romain on the first floor for the assembly. But to do that, we will... Vous êtes rechangé chez toi?
And our first stop is to learn a little bit about Kenessi, because this was a lot of new information for me and probably for some of you as well. Because Kenessi is actually owned by 80% of Tudor and 20% by Chanel. So this is kind of like a joint venture of these brands together. And they are producing movements not only for these brands, because they are producing movements for Breitling, they're producing movements for the 40s, but they're also producing movements for Norquain, which is a really up-and-coming brand. We also have Tudor, of course, which is the main base in this factory, but they also have other brands. And in the middle of it, yeah, this is this huge movement that is obviously a Tudor one. They also have Chanel watches that they are producing for. Bell & Ross also got movements from this factory, as well as Tag Heuer. So these are the 7 brands that they are producing movements for at the moment. And this was really interesting to learn about, because they started this project 2010, and 2015 they produced the first in-house movement for Tudor, and by 2018 that's where Chanel stepped in. And this factory where we are right now, that was built as late as 2022. So this is brand new stuff, and it's quite cool to have been inside this facility, and we'll get to move on to see how it looks in the production process. And inside this store is where the assembly is happening. We're gonna get to share with you a lot of this because they're very open and we can see all this. This is Roma. He's been working here for 6 months only, but you can tell that he is a watch manufacturing expert. It was such a pleasure walking around in this environment because it is such a unique place, and I've never been inside a watch factory before. And what is so cool about this is that each different workbench, they have different parts of course, but they really have this lab experience. It feels like you could definitely be in a production process of the medical industry or like a lab or something. Here Roman shares with us how the production assembly line works, because it's such a cool interaction between the machines and the robots, but also the human watchmakers assembling these things. Another thing I did not expect was to see this kind of old-fashioned equipment, but this really shows and shares how old watch manufacturing tools can be used forever, because the precision of these tools are just so high-end, and it's cool to see that this is in this almost brand new factory. Here is one of 2 storage units, so this machine stores different parts and moves out the things that is needed for each different watchmaker. They also do some control checks here, and it's just so satisfying seeing these robots in action. What's so fascinating in this factory is the interaction between these robots, but also this super specialized watchmaker. That is something I've never seen before, and I couldn't expect it to be such a cool dynamic between them. My favorite part of this production process, yeah, that's seeing this watchmaker assembling this movement, but when she's done with it, the movement will just go down into the table and move to the line just like a sushi roll system, and then another movement will come to her. That was kind of cool, and I did not expect to see anything like this. And this is how it looked when the movements were just going around between different stations. This is gonna be the last footage from inside the factory. It's been such a pleasure walking around learning about the Kenessi factory, but also seeing the Tudor factory from inside. I'm both impressed and thankful for how open you've been sharing all this with us, and I really can't wait to get another Tudor that has been produced in this factory. This has been such a pleasure, and I hope you guys who watched this really liked what you've seen. Let us know in the comments what you think about this brand new factory in Locle. Do you think it's cool, and what was your favorite part about this video? Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.